Good day, everyone. What's new with you? We're back for another movie recap. I'm sure you're all looking forward to seeing our movie today. There are spoilers ahead. Have a blast. Our movie for today is called The Last Song. The Last Song is a 2010 American coming-of-age teen romantic drama film based on Nicholas Sparks' novel of the same name, which was released in 2009. Sparks and Jeff Van Wee co-wrote the picture, which was directed by Julie Ann Robinson in her feature film directorial debut. Miley Cyrus, Liam Hemsworth, and Greg Kinnear feature in The Last Song, which follows a troubled adolescent as she reconnects with her estranged father and falls in love during a summer in a sleepy southern beach town. Veronica Ronnie Miller is the 17-year-old protagonist. At the start of the story, Ronnie is angered by her divorced parents and resents having to spend the summer with her father. Ronnie, on the other hand, gets a new appreciation for family, life, faith, and love over the summer as she matures from a rebellious teenager to a responsible young woman. Steve Miller is Ronnie's father, whom she hasn't seen in a long time. They used to share a love of playing the piano and making music, but now they don't. Steve just has one summer to rekindle his relationship with his daughter. Will Blakely is the eye candy beach volleyball player who isn't Ronnie's type. But is he? Will's path continues to cross hers after practically bumping into Ronnie, until they cautiously and carefully explore their mutual connection. It all starts with Ronnie on her way to his father's house, Steve. Ronnie is a rebellious teenager, who is not on good terms with her dad. She doesn't like the idea of living with her dad. Her dad lives by the beach. Ronnie walks around the beach and buys a strawberry shake. While walking, Will, the hot volleyball player, bumps into Ronnie and her strawberry shake spilled into her shirt. Will apologizes and insists on buying her a shirt, but she rejects it. Steve and Ronnie's mom are talking about pretending to have a healthy relationship for their kids. She is worried about Ronnie, but Steve thinks she'll be fine. When Ronnie's mom left, Steve walked Jonah, his 10-year-old son, to his house. Ronnie was still walking around the beach. There she met Blaze, a Wrightsville beach girl whose real name is Galadriel. They went to see a fire show. While Ronnie is having a bonfire near the sea, Blaze's boyfriend tries to hit on her and Blaze sees it. Ronnie pushes him away and immediately goes home. She saw her dad playing his piano. Ronnie continues to walk to her room. Jonah requested if she could be a little nicer to their dad because he doesn't want to lose him. Steve asks Ronnie where she was the whole day. Ronnie told her dad that she doesn't want to be with Steve. Steve continues to play his piano, but Ronnie asks him to stop because she wants to sleep. The next morning, Steve prepared breakfast for Jonah and Ronnie, but Ronnie immediately walked away and didn't want to have breakfast with them. Ronnie discovers a loggerhead sea turtle nest at the beach by her house, trying to protect it from raccoons. Ronnie meets Will again at a cafe while she is reading a book. When she got home, she saw a raccoon trying to go near her sea turtle. So she sleeps outside to protect the sea turtles. The next morning, Will sees Ronnie sleeping. Ronnie wakes up and asks Will why he's there. Will was there because Ronnie called the aquarium, and Will is a volunteer worker for the aquarium. That same day, while Ronnie is at a convenience store, Blaze saw her. Blaze gets a bracelet from the store and put it in Ronnie's bag secretly. Ronnie saw Blaze and talked to her, asking what's wrong. Blaze explains that she saw Ronnie flirting with Marcus, but she didn't know it's the other way around. When she was about to follow Blaze, the store detected the bracelet from her bag. Steve comes to pick her up, but Steve was upset. Ronnie gets upset too and packs her things, for she wants to leave. Jonah gets mad at her and wants her to leave because he thinks she's ruining their day. Ronnie wants her dad to believe her that she didn't steal the bracelet. When the evening comes, Ronnie is monitoring the sea turtle. Ronnie was surprised to see Will. Will set up a chair and will join Ronnie to monitor the sea turtle. Steve and Jonah saw the both of them from afar. Steve immediately went down and moved Will's chair far from Ronnie's chair. Morning came and Ronnie said she had fun with Will last night, so she wanted to do it again. Will takes Ronnie to show her the aquarium where he works. After they leave to the beach, Ashley, Will's ex-girlfriend, shows up and tells Ronnie about Will's past relationships and how taking them to see the aquarium was a routine of his, which makes Ronnie doubtful of her feelings toward him. Will went to Ronnie's house, but Ronnie pushed her away. Ronnie and Will had an argument about Will's past relationships. While Ronnie is explaining that she doesn't want to be like his other girls, Will kisses her. When she entered the house, She was smiling and Steve started to make fun of her about being kissed. Ronnie and Will continue to spend a lot of happy moments together and continue to develop their feelings for each other. Will later finds out that Ronnie can sing very well. They both went into the woods but their car got stuck into the mud. They both played until they both get dirty. Will brings Ronnie to a beautiful place. Ronnie was very surprised to see Will's house because it's very big. There she discovered that Will is very rich. She meets Will's parents. Will's dad mentioned about the wedding of her sister. She finds out that Will's mom sent an invitation to his ex. Ronnie got upset and said to Will to find another girl, someone rich also. Will begins to open up about his family not being perfect. He mentioned he had a brother that died last year. He said he don't want to lose Ronnie either. When Ronnie gets back home, Ronnie talks to Steve for the first time about guys. Ronnie hugs Steve, which makes him feel surprised. The next day, Steve, Jonah, and Ronnie watched Will as he played volleyball. Ronnie immediately ran to the church to meet her dad to tell that she was finally invited to the wedding. While they were talking, Steve mentioned taking medicines. Ronnie got worried but Steve told her it was last year and he is okay at the moment. Steve also opens up about the church being burned down. He blames himself about it and Ronnie is worried about him too. Will later finds out that Steve blames himself about the church, so he immediately talked to his friend about their secret. His friend doesn't want the people to know he was the one to blame for the church being burned down. He warned Will and said Will knows him for a long time. While Ronnie is on her way to buy a dress for the wedding, she saw Blaze and Marcus fighting. Ronnie pitied Blaze and left the money her dad gave her to Blaze. Jonah finds it out so he decides to give his savings to his sister. On the wedding day, Ronnie saw Blaze and Blaze apologized to Ronnie and told her she broke up with Marcus. Marcus later shows up to the wedding and harasses Blaze. Will tries to stop Marcus, which leads to a commotion, leaving Will's mom disappointed. When Will brings Ronnie home, Jonah immediately tells them the turtle is hatching. They witness the sea turtle hatching but something happened to Steve. They bring him to the hospital. Ronnie is very worried. Ronnie learns that her dad, Steve, has cancer. Ronnie gets mad at Steve for lying about his condition. Ronnie later hugged Steve and got emotional, telling him she loves his dad very much. Jonah becomes very affected after knowing his dad's condition. He's desperate to finish the glass art he and his dad is doing. Steve continues to battle his situation in the hospital, while Will is helping Jonah. Ronnie continues to take care of her dad. Steve asks Ronnie to take him home. Ronnie showed the church to his dad. Will wants to clear his conscience about the burned church. Will and his friend went to see Steve to confess about the fire in the church. Steve wanted to keep it a secret. Ronnie hears all of it and gets mad at Will for being a coward and making Steve feel guilty about the fire. Her mom comes to pick her up but Ronnie wanted to stay with his dad and make up for the moments she never had with him. Jonah feels sad about leaving his dad. He doesn't want to say goodbye. One day, while Ronnie was cleaning the house, she saw a bunch of letters. Letters that Steve wrote for Ronnie. Steve is working to finish the song he wrote but he told Ronnie he might not be able to finish the song because he can't move his hands. So Ronnie tries to play the song her dad made, trying to finish the song by herself. After finishing the song she saw her dad and became very emotional. Ronnie's mom comes to pick her up and comforts her. Blaze and other townsfolk offer Ronnie sympathy and kind words after the funeral outside. Later on, while talking to the attendants, she runs into Will. He says that he liked the song she played and that he knows her dad did, too, and Ronnie thanks him for coming. Having decided to attend Juilliard, Ronnie is packing up to return to New York when she sees Will standing outside. She goes outside to see him and Will apologizes to her for everything that had happened, and Ronnie forgives him. Will surprises Ronnie by revealing that he will be transferring to Columbia University to be with her and they passionately kiss. The movie, in this particular thought, had focused on family connections as it portrayed struggles in a daughter-father relationship. After all, life, they say, is about nurturing relationships. Life on Earth is temporary, life is so short, make the most out of it. That concludes today's movie recap. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of this film. Put it in the comments section below. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again next time. Have a fantastic day.